Next up, we have Dr. Luke Mortimer, a rock doctor, ladies and gentlemen. Kalamazoo Resources, ASX code KZR, gold in Victoria and over in the Pilbara. Luke, great to see you. Over to you for the Kalamazoo story.
Oh, thank you for a lovely welcome, Kerry. Glad to be giving you this story. I'll start with the usual forward-looking statements. You've all seen these before. It also includes our Ashburton Gold Project mineral resources, if anyone is interested. The Kalamazoo story. Well, we're arguably in the two best gold provinces in Australia, the Pilbara and the Victorian goldfields. We also have some lithium exploration as well in the Pilbara, which is also a pretty hot property. Our flagship project is the Ashburton Gold Project, which we purchased off Northern Star about 18 months ago. It currently has about a 1.65 million ounce resource. We are looking to increase that to over 2 million ounces. And what it probably is its biggest standout is its grade of 2.5 grams, which puts it in a different category to other projects in the Pilbara. We've recently completed between 15,000 to 20,000 metres of drilling over the past 18 months. Again, trying to extend that resource figure, and I think the results have been highly encouraging. The Sisters project, which we'll be drilling in early 2022, probably in the second quarter. This is exciting because it's along strike of the De Grey's Hemi project. It's on the same structural corridor, very similar geology, great structures, and we have some gold in soil anomalies to drill there, so we're very excited about that. And we also, at our Doms Hill and Marble Bar, they are gold projects. We're still looking for gold there, but SQM, one of the largest lithium companies in the world, have recently entered into a joint venture with us on those projects for looking for lithium and other minerals there as well. So that's a great credit to these projects. And of course, we're also in the central Victorian goldfields, exploring for major gold deposits such as the Fosterville style that everyone would like to find. We've got Castlemaine Gold Project that has historical production of over 5 million ounces. The South Marketfoot Gold Project in Maldon, again, historical production of over 2 million ounces. We have other projects nearby in the very high-grade goldfield of Tarnagulla, and also Myrtle, which is just to the south and along strike of the Fosterville mine. So we've got plenty going on. We take our license to operate very seriously. We have pretty comprehensive HSEC policies. We've just recently committed to going carbon neutral through the Australian Climate Active program. And we also have community engagement plans. We're working closely with the native title holders, and we're actively doing both Aboriginal and early European heritage surveys in both WA and Victoria. The corporate overview, I guess the big sort of takeaway messages here is that the share register is tightly held. The top 5 shareholders hold 50% of the company. And we also have cornerstone investors in Nova Resources and Eric Sprott as well. So and we have a very experienced, and yeah, like I said, it's pretty tightly held. And we also have plenty of cash at the moment, so that's good too. So moving on to the Pilbara, in particular, Ashburton Gold Project. Again, it's got 1.65 million ounces. When you compare it to its peers in the Pilbara, you'll see that the grade is quite special. But also the resource tons is also pretty good too. But I think the standout is the grade. It's a mix of sulfide and oxide resource, and there's plenty of potential for significant expansion through brownfields and greenfields exploration, and ultimately development.
Time frame on that one, sorry, Luke, because when we've spoken in the past, Kalamazoo has had 1.65 million ounces for a while now. What's How are you going to grow it? What's your time frame? What's the news flow around Ashburton?
Oh, well, we've just released two announcements covering brownfields and greenfields exploration results in the past 12 months. Very encouraging around the war zone, is what we call it. We've found a new prospect called Annie Oakley. The Petra prospect is shaping up to be pretty interesting, where we're actually looking for a whole new ore body as a Mount Olympus analog. Mount Olympus makes up the bulk of the resource there. We've planned another 15 to 20,000 metres that will be starting in mid-year as well. We've also conducted some drilling in the around the Mount Olympus ore body, and those core samples have been sent for metallurgical scoping studies. So we're looking at how we can develop these ore bodies. So there's a lot of things going on in the background, and we are making some progress. And obviously the strategy, it's important to remember, the Pilbara is a great tier 1 jurisdiction. As I said, we've been looking at drilling brownfields or extents to the known resources, but also getting out to the regional greenfields type targets such as Petra, where we're looking for another Mount Olympus, and Annie Oakley, where we new discoveries not too far from current resources. We've drilled quite extensively in, I think we did about 15,000 metres last year, brownfields and greenfields. It's important to note, though, that Northern Star's plans back in 2013 was to build a 100,000 ounce per annum oxide CIL plant, but that was when the gold price fell to $1,300, and that's when the project was shelved. Obviously, the price is a lot better these days, but also the technology for POX plants and the new technologies, even just concentrates and stuff, make this a much more interesting proposition these days. But the whole strategy is to really build that resource up so that we've then got options going forward. And again, some of the drilling that we did last year was based on metallurgical scoping studies. So we are starting to make progress in that regard. And this slide just shows the scale of the project and where some of the resources are. And this, again, you get a feel for, there's a lot of brownfields or extensional drilling of known resources, but there's also plenty of blue sky for regional targets as well. In our phase 2 program, which is the program that we drilled in 2021, we managed to extend some of the mineralisation around the war area, which we now call the war zone. We now got mineralisation over 2.5 kilometres, and they're pretty good grades. They're moderate to high grade. I was just
about to say, these are quite strong, aren't they? It looks like it's quite consistent too.
Yeah, and then you can see the Annie Oakley prospect there too as well, where we've extended off further to the northwest there. That's a new discovery. And again, one of the reasons we're targeting the war zone is because of the very good grades. And historically, they've had some very thick intersections of over 1 ounce per tonne. So it's very exciting when we have these sort of numbers. It's again adding to the resource base ultimately is the goal. And again, we're doing other studies into the resource type work in terms of gold deportment studies, metallurgical studies, again, in conjunction with these drilling programs. We're currently in the planning phase for another big drilling campaign, probably split over 2 drilling campaigns starting in the middle of this year. And we're still looking at another 15 to 20,000 metres of drilling, which is a significant amount of metres. And of course, you don't drill, you don't find anything. So, so plenty of drill holes to come. Moving on to the Pilbara, to the Sisters project in the Pilbara, you can see where Hemi is, the grade properties, and we're along strike on that same structural corridor. So we're very excited about that. We've had some delays, mainly in heritage, gaining heritage agreements, etc., but they are now all sorted, and we're looking for a first pass drilling campaign of probably about 5,000 metres. We do have some significant gold in soil anomalies And whilst we have several targets, we've got 5 highly prospective targets. We're still working out how many of these we'll do. We're certainly going to drill the first few high priority targets in this upcoming program.
Again, just for those that don't know, let me just explain what you see in the brown outline. That is De Grey Mining's exploration area, and you can see a little dot there, which is Hemi, which is there. What is it? About 9 million ounces at the moment, I think.
Well, I think their maiden resource was 6.8 million ounces, but it's continuing to grow, and that's very significant. 6.8 million ounces is your maiden resource. They're still announcing great hits, and we are just along strike of it. So we're very very pleased with our fortune in that regard. So hope to have more details when we finish the drilling program in the second quarter. Moving on to Victoria, you can see that we've got where we are located in Castlemaine and Maldon, Tarnagulla, more recently the Myrtle Goldfield. The Bendigo zone is a great place to find very large high-grade gold deposits. You're talking at least 15 grams per tonne historical production. In the case of Fosterville, you're talking an ounce per tonne sort of production record. It's quite spectacular grades. We have a large chunk of most of the Castlemaine goldfields, as well as the southern Maldon goldfields as well. Again, these have got multi-million ounce production histories. The Myrtle project is a new one for us. We've just started a soil sampling program there in the past week, and the results of that will come in the next few months. And we also have a program of drilling at the Tarnagulla project as well. Look, our strategy in Victoria is slightly different. We're only looking for very high grade, very large million ounce ore bodies. Look, it's structurally complex. It needs a bit of a different approach to just walking around and drilling under old workings. You need to understand the structures. We're looking at low impact technologies, such as we've covered vast areas with ultrafine soil sampling. We've looked at some micro sampling programs. We're doing a lot of ground geophysics. LiDAR, airborne LiDAR has been fantastic. Do a lot of 3D geological modelling and fieldwork to go along with all those studies. We've got several prospects across all of our projects, and we're working our way through them. In our 2020 and 21 programs, we encountered some pretty high grade nuggety gold at the Mustang and Lightning prospects in the Castlemaine project. The mineralisation extends over 2.5 kilometres. We had one of our best hits ever in our initial program there. We had 1.4 metres at 260 grams per tonne, which is a bit of a personal best.
2 minutes, Luke.
In the South Muckerfoot Gold Project, we're studying the epizonal shallow gold systems that have antimony, similar to the Fosterville type mineralisation, which would be a fantastic ore body to find. We have finished there about 4,500 metres of RC drilling as well. Looking forward to the program at Tarnagulla, we've got about 800 metres of diamond drilling coming up. We recently announced that. We're just a kilometre up the road along strike of the aptly named Poverty Reef, which had historic production of 360,000 tonnes at 3 ounces to the tonne. So quite spectacular stuff. We have a very significant ultrafine golden soil anomaly there that we will be following up with some diamond drilling, hopefully before mid-year. I'll just touch on now Toms Hill, Pear Creek and Marble Bar projects, which were recently where we did an operation joint venture with SQM, one of the world's largest lithium companies. They're worth about $13 billion. And they are, in part of this agreement, they will be spending up to $12 million to earn up to 70% of these projects. And it just shows the quality of that company coming in, shows the quality of the projects that we have here. Whilst these are full focus at the moment is on lithium. We're still exploring for gold in these projects at the moment. And the soil sampling that we do across these projects are also being analysed for gold.
Running out of time, my friend.
Okay, I guess why would you want to invest in us? Well, peer valuations, we're cheap. You look at enterprise value per total mineral resource ounce, with our West Australian peers, with over 500,000 ounces of resource, we're cheap.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Quick overview of the investment highlights. Luke, we've run out of time, but this presentation will be up on the website as yours, as well as the Gold Events website too. Thank you so much for joining us today. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, fully funded, got a lot of cash. Eric Sprott's a shareholder. Luke Mortimer's their exploration manager, and he's going for gold and lithium. Luke Mortimer, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you very much, Kerry.